The names Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow are forever etched in American history. Their story is one of love, crime, and a relentless pursuit of freedom that has fascinated generations. They were young, they were in love, and they were ruthless criminals. Their partnership was as much about their romantic bond as it was about their shared desire to defy the law and live life on their own terms. Their crime spree captivated the nation during the Great Depression, a time when many Americans were struggling to survive. The daring duo's exploits provided a strange form of escapism and excitement in an otherwise bleak period. Newspapers chronicled their exploits, turning them into folk heroes for some and objects of fear for others. Headlines screamed of their latest heists, their narrow escapes, and the relentless manhunt that followed them across state lines. But who were Bonnie and Clyde? Beyond the sensational headlines and the romanticized tales, they were real people with real lives and real struggles. What led them down this path of crime and violence? Was it the harsh economic realities of the Great Depression or something deeper within their personalities that drove them to a life of lawlessness? This essay delves into the lives of these infamous outlaws. We will examine the circumstances that shaped them, the choices they made, and the impact they left on American culture. We'll explore their upbringings, their crimes, and their dramatic end. From their humble beginnings to their rise as notorious criminals, every aspect of their lives will be uncovered. The story of Bonnie and Clyde is a complex one. It's not just a tale of crime, but also a story of love, loyalty, and the human desire for freedom and recognition. It's a tale of poverty, desperation, love, and ultimately tragedy. Their lives ended in a hail of bullets, but their legend lives on, a testament to the enduring power of their story. Bonnie and Clyde were not simply petty thieves. Their crimes escalated from small-time robberies to brazen heists and cold-blooded murders. They terrorized the central United States, leaving a trail of fear and bloodshed in their wake. Among their most notorious crimes were the Joplin, Missouri shootout, the Eastham prison farm escape, and the kidnapping of H.D. Darby and Sophia Stone. Their spree included the murders of lawmen and civilians alike. They robbed banks, stores, and gas stations, always on the run, always one step ahead of the law. Their audacity and their seeming invincibility only added to their notoriety. Bonnie Parker was born in 1910 in Rowena, Texas. Her family later moved to West Dallas, a poverty-stricken area. Bonnie was a bright student with a passion for poetry and writing. She excelled in school and dreamed of a life beyond the confines of her impoverished upbringing. However, tragedy struck when her father died when she was just 4 years old. This event forced her family deeper into poverty. Despite the hardships, Bonnie maintained a charismatic personality and a zest for life. She married at a young age, but the marriage quickly dissolved, leaving her yearning for something more. Clyde Barrow, born in 1909 in Ellis County, Texas, had a similarly difficult upbringing. His family, sharecroppers by trade, struggled to make ends meet. Clyde's first brush with the law came at an early age. He was arrested for stealing a car, a sign of things to come. Clyde's criminal activities escalated from petty theft to armed robbery. He spent time in and out of jail. Prison hardened him, turning him into a ruthless and cunning criminal. He was known for his quick temper and his willingness to use violence. Section 5. A partnership forged in blood, the early days of their spree. Bonnie and Clyde's paths crossed in 1930. They fell passionately in love, and Bonnie joined Clyde on his criminal path. Their early crimes were mostly petty thefts. However, their crimes soon escalated in severity and violence. They formed the Barrow gang, attracting other outlaws and embarking on a crime spree that spanned several states. The gang's crimes included robberies, kidnappings, and murders, striking fear into the hearts of people across the country. The media sensationalized their exploits, portraying them as modern-day Robin Hoods. Section 6. Murderous Escapades, the String of Killings. The Barrow gang's crime spree was marked by a shocking level of violence. They were responsible for the deaths of at least 9 police officers and several civilians. Their willingness to kill contributed to their notoriety and made them public enemies number one. One particularly gruesome incident occurred in 1933 when they killed 2 highway patrolmen in Grapevine, Texas. This act of brutality shocked the nation and intensified the manhunt for the Barrow gang. Their disregard for human life made them a target for law enforcement agencies across the country. Section 7. Robbing their way across America. The Barrow Gang's heists. The Barrow Gang's primary source of income was robbery. They robbed banks, stores, and gas stations, often making off with only small amounts of cash. Their heists were more about the thrill and the challenge than the financial gain. Their most successful robbery took place in 1933 when they robbed a bank in Lancaster, Texas, escaping with over $1,500. Despite their daring heists, they were never able to amass a significant fortune. They lived a life on the run, constantly moving, always looking over their shoulders. Section 8. Near misses and daring escapes. Encounters with the law. Throughout their crime spree, Bonnie and Clyde had numerous close calls with the law. They were involved in several shootouts with police officers and managed to escape capture on numerous occasions. Their ability to evade capture only added to their mystique. In one instance, they were surrounded by law enforcement in a motel in Joplin, Missouri. A fierce gun battle ensued, and miraculously, Bonnie and Clyde escaped unharmed. They relied on their wits, their firepower, and a good dose of luck to stay one step ahead of the law. Section 9. Justice served, the ambush, and their demise. The reign of terror of Bonnie and Clyde finally came to an end on May 23, 1934. After years of evading the law and leaving a trail of violence and crime across multiple states, their luck ran out. The infamous duo had become the most wanted criminals in America, and their capture was a top priority for law enforcement. They were ambushed and killed by a posse of lawmen on a rural road in Bienville Parish, Louisiana. The location was carefully chosen to ensure there would be no escape. The lawmen had set up a perfect trap, waiting patiently for the couple to drive into their deadly embrace. The officers, led by former Texas Ranger Frank Hamer, had been tracking the Barrow Gang for months. Hamer, a seasoned lawman with a reputation for toughness, meticulously planned the ambush. He and his team studied the gang's movements, predicting their next steps with precision. The posse unleashed a hail of bullets into the couple's stolen Ford V8, killing them instantly. The car was riddled with over 100 bullet holes, a testament to the ferocity of the ambush. Bonnie and Clyde had no chance to return fire or escape. The ambush marked the end of one of the most infamous crime sprees in American history. Their deaths were a significant victory for law enforcement, symbolizing the end of an era of lawlessness and fear. The public was both shocked and relieved by their deaths. Newspapers across the country ran headlines about the dramatic end of Bonnie and Clyde. While some mourned the loss of the rebellious outlaws, many more celebrated the restoration of peace and order. The story of Bonnie and Clyde remains a powerful reminder of the relentless pursuit of justice. Section 10. The Aftermath. The legend lives on. Despite their violent end, the legend of Bonnie and Clyde continued to grow. Their story became a cautionary tale. It was a reminder of the dangers of crime and the allure of a life on the wrong side of the law. The public was fascinated by their story, and their lives became the subject of books, movies, and songs. They were romanticized in popular culture, often portrayed as tragic figures caught up in a life they couldn't escape. Their story continues to captivate audiences today, a testament to the enduring power of their legend. Section 11. Conclusion. A legacy of crime and passion. Bonnie and Clyde's story is a complex mix of crime, passion, and tragedy. Their tale has captivated the public imagination for decades, becoming a symbol of the tumultuous times they lived in. Their lives were shaped by poverty, desperation, and a thirst for adventure. The Great Depression left many Americans struggling to survive, and Bonnie and Clyde were no exception. They turned to a life of crime, not just for survival but for the thrill and notoriety it brought them. They were ruthless criminals who left a trail of destruction and death in their wake. Their crime spree included numerous bank robberies, car thefts, and even murders. Law enforcement was constantly on their trail, but their cunning and audacity kept them one step ahead for a long time. Despite their crimes, they remain cultural icons. Their story has been romanticized in books, movies, and songs, painting them as tragic anti-heroes. People are drawn to their rebellious spirit and the intense bond they shared. They represent a time of rebellion and defiance, their story a reminder of the dark side of the American dream. The economic hardships of the era fueled a sense of disillusionment and anger, which Bonnie and Clyde embodied in their defiance of the law. Their love story, though unconventional and set against a backdrop of violence, continues to fascinate. They were inseparable, their partnership as much about love as it was about crime. Their relationship added a layer of complexity to their criminal exploits, making their story even more compelling. The legend of Bonnie and Clyde serves as a cautionary tale and a reminder of the enduring power of love, loyalty, and the allure of the outlaw life. Their end was as violent as their lives, gunned down in a hail of bullets, yet their legacy lives on, a testament to the enduring fascination with their story and the era they came to symbolize.